I did a cycle of Primo, 1,000 milligrams, and it was real just because I know it's real. And it was 200 milligrams a test as a baseline with that. 12 weeks, I put on 2 pounds. I was like, well, this sucks ass. And I can take 200 milligrams of trend and answering your question about the different products, like everyone responds to things differently. Like some people cannot take trend, like even at 100 milligrams, they just like, I've had people get stomach aches, like just like they're in pain. Some people like Deca, like for me, that's say goodbye to my sex like life. I just can't, it doesn't, I'm like, what is happening? Like that's the only product I've ever taken in my life that just ruined it. And I've tried it more than once and it happened twice. So I'm like, well, that's not for me. And so what I find is that when people would hire me and I would coach them, they usually have certain things that they liked. So I would always ask them, like, what is your experiencing with, what have you experienced with these products and what do you like and at what doses? And if you don't ask someone, you don't have those questions, you just say, here, take this. It's like, how can you do that? If somebody's taken 700 milligrams of trend and they're like, I'm fine from it, and you give them 200, they're going to be like, what the heck? I'm not building any muscle from this. So you have to kind of listen to what are they doing and what do you get from it? And I know I did a cycle of Primo, 1,000 milligrams, and it was real just because I know it's real. And it was 200 milligrams a test as a baseline with that. 12 weeks, I put on 2 pounds. I was like, well, this sucks ass. And I can take 200 milligrams of trend and grow like a lot, way more than the Primo at way cheaper price. It's such a low dose. So I'm like, well, that was a waste. So some people are going to get really good results from some products and not any real results from something else. And like for me, orally, Anavar is I love it. The other things I've taken pretty much everything, but I just don't like it as much. Like I haven't taken Anavar since, I don't know, whatever the last show I did, but like, I miss it. That's probably the one thing where I'm like, I miss that feeling. Like I'm literally driving to the gym and I'm feeling like a pump in my arms as I'm turning the wheel. It's just like a good feeling. Like I just liked it. So other people are like, it's for girls. I don't feel it. It's nothing. So everyone reacts differently to these things. It's amazing, but you really need to like listen to the people and experiment. And so the problem is, how do you know without experimenting? So somebody like me who's like abused drugs like for like 10 years, it's like I've had so much experience with it. And I'm so sensitive. Like if I take 10 milligrams, I can feel it. Other people, I don't think it worked. And I'm like, you've been taking 10 milligrams for 2 months. You put on 30 pounds on your bench. You don't think it works. Well, you think that would have just happened on your own? And this is a woman. I'm like, really? So they don't feel it working. I'm like, I can feel 10. I'm sure you can, but they just don't realize what it's happening. I just don't think they're in tune with their bodies. But if I add in 10 milligrams of Anavar, like I'm going to notice that. I'm going to feel that in the gym.
Yeah. Do you think like the layering discussion, do you think it's something like GH is necessary to be like a top pro, or like GH?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I mean, to be like, if you're talking about the open class pro level Olympia stage, then definitely, but anything else aside from that, definitely like classic physique, like a Chris Bumstead, I think if anything, it would probably hurt him.
Yeah.
I think it would potentially cause too much like water retention, bloating. It probably would just hurt his physique, especially where he has to have that smallest waist possible. And it's not just the pure size game. So I see no reason why he would absolutely ever want to take it.